Okay, so now at least we know why oil has been dumping. Because I was wondering, I've seen some news on the X, some posts that were saying some companies were shorting oil, and everyone, definitely myself included, were expecting oil to be pumping after the failed peace talks over the weekend. And guess what? Oil has been dumping ever since. So we'll get straight into the Bitcoin analysis, but not before we have to mention that this content is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research before making financial decisions. And with that being said, let's just take a small peek over what Trump said here. He said that China is very happy that I'm permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz. I'm doing it for them also and the world. Well, Mr. Trump, of course you're doing it for everyone. Now, what I'm confused about is why did he close it for a day or two just so he can reopen it now? I guess he has his own strategies to make money. Now, if we take a look here, this is only one of the posts that I've seen about whales opening long positions, which is interesting. It's really interesting to me, to be honest, especially with high positions as well. So the whales definitely know something, considering the market has been pumping for the past 2 weeks. And I've been shorting. Yes, I've been shorting. Now, if we look over another set of news, US and Iran have agreed in principle to extend the truce, according to AP. To be honest, at this point, it just looks like they are doing trading themselves, man. Like Iran and the US are, I don't know, they are like agreeing to something, then disagreeing. It's just like they are making tons of money trading. I mean, to me, that's what it looks like. Like today it's peace, tomorrow we set the world on fire. So it's really annoying. Now, if we look at another post from Ted, and this is quite interesting, you can see the charts look, well, quite similar to be fair. And I suppose that's why most of the people are expecting another dump, which wouldn't be bad, especially for my shorts. Also, if we look at the liquidation heat map on the 2 week time frame, we can see we have quite a bit of money here at the 70,000, right? So most of the liquidity is below and 66 as well. Now, obviously, on the 24-hour time frame, it's above. Well, it's quite a bit as well here. I'm not gonna lie. So what I would expect if we get into the charts, right? We are on the daily here, and it does not look bad. Well, this candle here, this hammer on the daily, well, it looks bad for the bulls. I'm not gonna lie. It looks pretty bad. Also considering that it's at the resistance, so you can see clearly that it's a double top here. So also with this selling pressure here, volume still not very good. I mean, yeah, still nothing major. I would definitely expect a pullback from here. But remember, we've looked at the liquidity before, and what could happen is something like this, right? Uh, Fake out, fool everyone, right? So more people would be longing, also take out that liquidity and then the dump. Definitely a possibility for the market makers to make more money than they currently are. But like I said, even in the yesterday's video, we can clearly see that the downtrend, well, it did fake out. I mean, it did. Well, I don't even know if you can call it a fake out yet because we don't know if it's gonna push higher or not. But yeah, it definitely pushed above this descending trend line, right? So uh, yeah, I don't know. This is why it's really tricky at the moment. Well, with crypto and markets in general, it's always tricky, but especially now because it did break above this, but at the same time, it's at resistance and volume is not very convincing. Now, let's see. Right, let's take the Fibonacci from the low to the high, just in case it drops. from this, right? It could go, oh yeah, well, 66, not too bad, right? If we take it, 66 is a pretty decent level in my opinion. But if you take it from this swing low here to high, right? The 618 is at 69,000 and the 50% is at 7,500. Yeah, decent levels. So if this was to push even higher, a pullback to the 50% here to 70,000 would be possible and then push higher, very possible. Now, if we look on the 4 hourly, yeah, even on the 4 hour it looks exhausted in my opinion. After this push up, it's already had 17% in 2 weeks, which is quite a bit. I'm gonna be honest, it's quite a bit in just 2 weeks. And also, if we look here, we've also got the order block. You can see we have the order block here. So yes, even if it bumps a bit higher, we still have this resistance over here, right? So yeah, I'm not too excited. Well, I'm definitely not excited because I'm on short. I'm personally on short. But even for the bulls, if I was a bull, I wouldn't be very excited considering what we've got here above, right? And also, if we look on the 4 hourly at the moment, it also has this fair value gap here. So if we take the Fibonacci again and we push from the low to the high, you can see the 618 aligns very nicely with this fair value gap here. So I wouldn't be surprised if it does something like this, right? Comes back down here. Oh, not that, sorry. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back here, right? Or maybe even a bit lower and then pushes higher. In case this break of the trend, so this trend line has been acting as resistance ever since the all-time high, right? So in case this is an actual fair breakout, a pullback would be very nice so the bulls can get more power, I guess, and then push higher. But I am personally not hoping for that because I mean I'm on short, like I said it so many times. I'm on short and I'm hoping that this is just a fake out and then we push back down to the 60s, well 65, 66 and even lower to the 50s hopefully. So yeah, if we look one more thing, if we look on the not on this, on the hourly. Perfect. Okay, so let me get rid of this as well. So if I'm going on the hourly, we can clearly see that this is the range, right? So at the current moment, we are still within this range. So we are at resistance, clearly. And in this case, personally, momentum look quite strong so far on the way up, but now it's definitely starting to slow down right at the resistance, as you can see, which is exactly where moves usually pause and decide. And when you look at the liquidation heat map like we did, it gets even more interesting, right? So yeah, on the way to look at this is quite simple. If price holds above this zone, which I'm I don't know, I'm quite skeptical about this, but it's been really strong so far, even though the volume hasn't been very strong. It's possible that this could squeeze into the liquidity above, right? But if it rejects here, this could just turn into another move lower back into support. Hopefully here to 64 and then even lower. So yeah, right now, again, just like in the other videos, it's not about predicting direction. It's about watching the reaction at this level because that's what's going to decide the next move. So I'll see you tomorrow and hopefully it will break out or break down from here.